If you thought goldenly breaded McDonald's chicken couldn't get more golden, think Golder, because new sweet and smoky special edition gold sauce is here. Made for your chicken favorites at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Introducing the perfect companion to your morning listening routine. AG1's clinically backed formula is now flavor-packed with 3 new delicious flavors: tropical, berry, and citrus. Start the day on a high note with probiotics that taste like the tropics. Mix it up with micronutrients that taste like berry or citrus. And take it all the way back with the classic AG1 Original with notes of pineapple and vanilla. Do your health a flavor, or 4, with AG1 Next Gen, the daily health drink. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. And my name is Justin. You could call me Band Curious. I like to invite my friends in to talk about bands that they love and tell me why they love them. And in doing so, I try to learn why they love them as well by listening to them. And in that process, we will come out with a top 10 starter kit for you to check out this band. And sometimes it could go like just as easy as this. Sometimes I just don't want to try on the intro. Today we're talking about Saskwatch. And this is another one. Whenever it's the Aussie boys, you know that Josh probably jumped in and said, "Hey, Justin, we'd be keen to do band X." And that's exactly how this one went, I believe. Josh, I think you came in and said, "Hey, we'd like to do Saskwatch. What's up?" So talk to me about Saskwatch and why you brought them to the dance today.
With Saskwatch, they were a band. Gemma and I used to do youth radio in Australia, and they used to have this playlist on there called Sweet 16, which was basically half Australian, half American songs, like every week. And at the end of the year, I decided to make like a playlist of my best songs from their playlist throughout the year. And Saskwatch was a band that popped up a few times. And one of their songs, which I'll say later, ended up probably being my favorite Australian song of that year. So the only unfortunate thing for Jamie and myself is that we sort of caught them what I think was their peak of their career, like, you know, with Manual Override. Right, but they finished up after that album. So we sort of became fans just as they were finishing up, which to me didn't make sense because I thought that album was their best. So, yeah, so, you know, it's a band that I haven't explored in a while, but have enjoyed in the past.
So when Josh puts these up, Jamie, I assume you two must have a conversation about this before it comes into the chat, or is it literally you're finding out as I find out? But clearly you were into Saskwatch, so tell me more.
Yeah, I think this one was one that I had driven for Josh. I was like, dude, we've got to do this band. Like they are, as like Josh said, a really good band. Their last album was, the peak, and it was unfortunate in the sense that they ended on a high, and then we can't even see them live anymore. But it was also fortunate, and again, I think I've heard their songs, but I really got into them more when we saw them live, which turned out to be, I think, one of the last times we could do it. And the ensemble they have on stage and the sound that they make, it's just so large and encompassing, and the voice of the head singer is just amazing and you know, enticing to listen to. It's really, and it's weird because it's like more of a groovy kind of sound overall, but there's still some like really weird experimental tracks in there and whatnot that make it a really enjoyable listen. So and then I think after that, there was a period where I probably was just listening to them on my own. I don't know if Josh had listened to them much, but I went through a couple of their albums and was like, oh, they've actually got some other songs. But it was clear that Manual Override was definitely their peak. And we're lucky that we were able, or that they continued as a band up until Manual Override was done. So we were at least blessed with one final uh, hurrah, I suppose.
This is clearly a band, as is usually the case with you boys. I never heard of them. Uh, and so I didn't know what to expect other than, I kind of had a vague idea. You know, there's usually some sort of through line with bands that you guys bring to the table. And it's present in this one, but it took me a lot longer to get to that through line because the first record I didn't I was taken aback. I was like, "Oh shit, like this is different." They kind of morph I don't know how to like in America we would refer to it as like indie rock. They morph more towards the indie rock sound. And like again, like this is another band where each record they just got better. And I didn't not every band does that. First of all, you guys, it seems to happen every time I do a band with you guys. But like, for having such a great start, and I thought that was going to be the sound, that first record, I thought that was going to be like the driving point. I thought that's what we were going to get. And that, what a great start. There's no way they're going to top that. And then for them to tweak as they go and find a way to get better, I was like, well, shit. Like, this is it. You mentioned Jamie groovy. There's a lot of horns. It reminds me a lot of like doo wop. It's just a really fun band to kind of listen to, and easy to kind of relax to even. So it's not a lot of music. Like it's 42 songs, Josh. But is this something where, because you get almost half of the discography, does that make it easier in this instance where like your cuts aren't as brutal?
Look, my initial cut was 29, and yeah, I did find it hard to cut songs down. Like while I felt, there were particular standouts, I did find it difficult to cut songs down, and in the end, it was pretty. I was going to say indiscriminate. I'm not sure if that's not the right word, but I really just like was quite. I just got rid of songs without any real good reasoning, because I found it difficult cutting it down to 20. Because I feel like there was a sort of similar level of quality of like 5 or 6 songs around the edge of 20. So yeah, I did find it difficult cutting it down.
Yeah, I don't know if you had the same thing, Jamie, but I think my numbers may have been exactly like what Josh is saying. I didn't have a ton come through on my first pass, but like it was brutal getting down. How was your go at this one, Jamie?
Yeah, my cut well my first pass gave me 26, and I think what was very hard when I was kind of more brutal with it was listening through the albums, starting from the start and going to the end because I knew the end would have a lot in there. Like it took a lot of willpower not to just put every single Manual Override song into my cut. um, and give the other ones a chance. So yeah, um, and their top quality is top quality, and not that to say their um, other stuff isn't, but it did take a bit more effort to narrow down what would be the last few. And I think overall, like if I look at my 20, I go, yeah, this is probably a good cream of the crop for them overall. And there are other songs similar kind of quality and just a bit different, not my taste at the end of the day. But um, yeah, it was a bit. It was more difficult to try and figure out what my tops were. I think and then the tops and bottoms. The middle was really easy. The tops and bottoms were the hardest to figure out, I think.
I ultimately ended up pretty rounded out, like as far as albums go. Which again, when I first listened to that first record, I thought that was going to be it. Like I was going to be like, I'm just putting this first record through, and then we'll go from there. And it ended up being a lot harder to make those cuts to even everything out. And again, I didn't do it on purpose. I was as I was writing down my list, I'm looking at it on Spotify and I'm like, well shit, I think it's like, 5-4-5-4, something like that. And it's like, well, that's that's about as even as you can get. So
Pretty solid.
yeah, but so it's interesting because to hear us talk about this, there's only 42 songs. It seems like the math would work out to where we should be able to get a lot through. But it seems like there's also not a lot of easy outs, which could mean a lot of ones and twos, Josh. Based on everything we've said, what do you think? How many do you think we get through unanimously?
I think like hearing some of this positive chat about Manual Override makes me think that there will be a couple of songs in there that we all like. And then for mine, at least off the first album, there's certainly a song that I think will go through. So probably go with 5.
I mean, it seems like the safe bet. It seems like
Yeah.
with 42, we should be able to do at least that, you would think. What do you think,
Yeah.
Jimmy? The middle has been taken from you.
Yep. Which is what I was going to go with, I think. But 42 songs, there's an even split along all of them. Out of 20, we'll go positive and go 6.
All right.
There can't be that much variation, so we have to go more positive, surely.
I want to say that too. But like I said, I think I'm 5-4-5, or actually maybe 5-4-4-5. Now that I'm looking at it, man, 5 and 6 off the table. Do I out positive you boys, or do I bet the under? I'm gonna out positive. I'm gonna go 2 past Jamie. And I'm gonna go 8. Partially because I don't want to win. I don't want that weight. But if I'm gonna win, then it needs to be because we did really well. So that's the way I always view it. All right, so we're gonna
Nice.
what's that?
Nice.
Yeah, right? All right, so with that, we're gonna take a quick break, and on the other side of it, we will play the game. Mr. Programmed. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The three of us have combed through the Saskwatch discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never listened to Saskwatch. So now I'm of two minds on where to start. I think I got to start at the start, not like the start, but the moment I kind of locked in on, okay, this is something different. And I already kind of did a pun on it. How about Don't Want to Try?
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Yep, I've got that on my list too.
Hey. All right. Mm-mm-mm.
You know, Justin, I feel like that was the first Sasquatch song I heard, because I swear I've heard that on an ad. Like, not that that's a great place to hear a song, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's because it's got this timeless quality, but it just seems like I've always known this song.
I'm so glad you brought that word up, timeless. This first record especially is super duper timeless. And that's why I kind of locked in on, like, there's just something about this band. And I mean, again, in my opinion, they got better, but like, which is fucking insane to think. But like it's timeless. It does feel like a song that I knew, and I guarantee you I had never heard it before that. So
Yeah.
I love that.
I think it must be the piano along with the horns for sure.
Yeah, it's just it's a familiar sound, and it scratches an itch I didn't know I had. So, it's kind of great. All right. Don't
I feel
wanna...
like, sorry, Justin, but I feel like, if we're talking about that sort of, Back to the Future sort of vibe, I do find like some of their best moments on this first album are like akin to something like the Supremes.
Yeah.
Like with how the songs are set up, and like that sort of electric sort of piano sound that's going on in some of these songs. But yeah, and like as a rule, I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of horn like sections in songs, but it's not usually something I enjoy as much. So, but in this song, it's great how it like sort of performs the hooks in the chorus. It's like you could do a little guitar line there, but it probably suits the music better having the horns doing that part.
Man, like there's a song like I'll have to dig it up in the After the Fact. But there's like a song on the edge of my head that it reminds me of, and I'll dig it up and we can talk about it in After the Fact. If that's something that interests you, fine, folks. $1 a month, patreon.com/oh hi Justin. All right, don't want to try in. Josh, where do you want to go?
Well, while we're on a first album sort of train here, I'll go with Your Love.
Yeah. Yep.
Not in my short list, in my long list, unfortunately.
All right, we'll take that too. That's a great one. I mean, that's going to be a lot of that. It was a great one. All right. Jamie?
I'm going to go out of the first album because I'm sure we'll get back there anyway, and go with a song that isn't off Manual Override, and that would surprise me because I thought a Manual Override song would be my top song. Turns out my top song came from the previous album, Spitting Image. Is the track.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't have it. You guys both do, so.
I think with Spitting Image, it's just the kind of like the way it kind of feels very stripped back at the start of the track with her vocals, and then I'm a sucker for a song that just builds and builds and builds, especially when the drums kick in later on. That's what makes this track outstanding for me.
All right, we'll take the 2. I'll do it. I'll be the first one to throw out a Manual Override track just to see if I can find you guys. How about December Nights?
Number 2.
Hey.
It's funny with this song, like, you have that big distorted guitar that sort of ushers it in, but then it like segues into like a flute-led hook, and it like works somehow. It's not something you think of in your head as, yeah, I'm gonna put a flute after this distorted guitar hook here. But yeah, this song's got a really cool sort of whimsical sort of quality to it, and it's got that beautiful sort of piano in the outro. Like, it's a really nice song.
They're really good at track ones because, especially in this instance, to your point, where they kind of like they're showing their hand of, by the way, we're doing something different now, but it's also familiar. It was very cool.
Yeah.
Very into that. All right.
And great vocals. Like, it's going to be common throughout all my descriptions, but her vocals, Akechi's vocals, are just insane. It really does become like, out of all the collective sound that they create with all the instruments, her voice is probably one of the most valuable assets of the band.
All right. So December Nights is in. Josh, where do you want to go?
So this album, I was talking a while ago how one of their songs from this album was my favorite of that year. And that was I'm probably saying it wrong. Renoir. I can't even pronounce it.
I got it.
I've got it.
Hey.
Beautiful.
For the record, I would have said Renoir as well. I would have assumed.
I can't even speak my first language, mate. I'm used to it by now, but
I'm pretty sure this is French, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
French
but like,
borrowed word.
Yeah, but just the fact I can't even speak English is what I'm getting at. So speaking anything from a foreign language is a battle. But yeah, but look, like I love that album, but for me, like this song's the standout off it. You know, it's got a really cool retro vibe. You know, the tinkling pianos and the harpsichord always makes things feel nostalgic for me. But I just find like this song's just really structured well, and I love how it sort of transitions between different sections. Like, there's this really like cool chord change into the bridge that, like, for me, I always love hearing that. And oddly enough, I feel like the bridge is the strongest part of the song, which is not something I always say, but yeah, no, I've always enjoyed this song, and I'm happy that all you guys voted it in.
There we go. Just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Jamie, where do you want to go?
So I'm going to go to their second album, in another track that I wasn't expecting anything from this album to be so high, but then when I did listen and delve into it more, I was like, this is it. And that's Born to Break Your Heart.
Yeah.
I don't have that, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sorry. And
that's okay. It's not the first time you've disappointed me.
It won't be the last either. Probably not even today.
That's true. But I think what I really like about here for this track is just how groovy it is, and the kind of trumpet sounds that peak throughout. It's fun to listen to.
What's cool with these guys as well, mate, is that like, while they've definitely got like a signature sort of sound, like, and they grew throughout their career, like it's still like groovy, but it's in a different sort of way to their first record. And like something that's cool to see throughout their 4 albums is like how they progress as a band and their sound. And it's sort of it happens in a way that's like not jarring. Like it seems to happen gradually throughout their 4 albums. And yeah, it's a good song, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't have pushed it through. I'll stay on that record with you, Jamie, though. Off of Nosedive, how about Hands?
It's in my long list, mate.
Oh.
Same for me, buddy.
Oh, to the bin it goes.
Yeah.
Aye. All right. I had a feeling it was coming eventually. All right. Into the bin. Where do you want to go, Josh?
What's funny about Hands, like most of their songs, I'm like, it's infectious and boppy. It was in my short list, but then I'm like, well, look, I've repeated that description like 57 times, so...
And we're going to continue to repeat it because we're original, but...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I'm like, probably leave that for something else. I think I'll go with a song called Then There's You.
Yeah,
I've got it.
Hey. There we go. There we go.
I'm just, this is what, like, one of the songs that makes me feel sad that this was their last album, because for me this is like a clear, like, sort of change in sound, but they sort of hit it. Production's really good. It's kind of like come out in 2017, so I suppose at the time, like it's kind of After Currents by Tame Impala, but that's sort of like psychedelic sort of feel. But like again, you put a different like layer of paint on this, and you could see this album sort of this song sort of being on one of their early albums, just with different instrumentation. But I feel like this song really works for that sort of like that feeling that they have. Like it's different with like the synths, or more of a reliance on synths, and it's weird. Like I almost see it as like a psychedelic dance song, but like not at all in the way you'd expect. Kind of like a slap groove.
I love the piano as well, or the keyboard tune. I kind of describe it as pretty dreamy yet eerie. Like,
yeah, like I get that. And this one, I hate to go, oh, this could have made it in the States, but it does feel like that could have hit here. And I don't know if they ever broke here. I mean, they clearly didn't break like big here if they did, but like I guess to your point, it does make me kind of sad that they're not going anymore, because it feels like where they were going, they could have broke here, and they could have, what does it mean to break in the States anyway? But like, I'm just comparing it to my little edge of the world. So. All right.
Like it's true. That's the goal of every band, because like good Australian bands that don't quite make it overseas, like there's only so much. You get to a certain level as a good Australian band, you can't actually tour around the country that much, because there's only so many people here. You might do the main cities and have to wait a long time before your like next album. Like oddly enough, in Australia, you play more gigs being a smaller band. You get to that sort of level in between being really big and just like a local band, and you actually can't tour that much. And I'm sure it'd be tiring, because like obviously they won't be making as much money out of it to support themselves. So yeah, it is a pity they didn't make it.
I guess there's a level. There was a band that I actually saw 2 nights ago where they're pretty big. I don't know if they've broken internationally. I know they're touring in Europe, so possibly, but they in their latest album tour, they were doing all the major cities and going to not stadium ones, but more like your large venues before you go to a stadium, which is kind of the limit of what I prefer to go to see personally. But then they continued on, and 2 months later they started doing the regional towns and centers. And Josh, you'll get a kick out of this. One of the towns that they hit as part of that was Frankston, and that's where I saw them. But yeah, that's kind of what you can do, where you're big and you can draw numbers, but you can still do like the regional towns and keep a tour going like that. So before you get to that next level where you have to be in a stadium, you have to be drawing a large crowd.
Yeah. And just like that, we're at 4. Where do you want to go, Jamie?
Okay. I'll leave Manual Override for now and go back to their second album, which, as I listen in the background, has just kicked on, and I guess this is probably a good place to go. I love Divine.
Oh, damn it. No.
Oh, well, I'm not immune to the bin either. I think the reason why I chose this track specifically, to me, it sounds very 80s and was the most rock they got. So I rated it highly for that, but I guess not everyone's the same. It's okay, I'm not taking it personally or anything.
I think it's one of their top 10 on Spotify. Like I went to kind of because this is a band that I didn't get any answers when I asked Threads. Nobody answered anything. So like I couldn't really get a pulse on what people think of them. So I compared it to the top 10 on Spotify, and that I'm almost positive that was one of the songs that was on there. So
probably, yeah.
All right, back around to me.
It is. It's their number 6.
Yeah. All right, back around to me. I'll go on. We haven't gone to Sorry I Let It Come Between Us yet. So how about I try Everyone's Giving Up?
I've got that one.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm giving up.
Did you
That's
say
okay. We'll stick with 2.
Yeah, we'll take it too. That's all right.
I like it. It's groovy, kind of melancholic, bit of a slow one, but fun.
Yeah. All right. Take that too, and we'll move on. Josh?
Yeah, I'll go something off that album as well. And go down the stairs.
Yes.
Down the stairs again. Long list, not short list.
All right.
Well, it's weird with that song. Like, obviously I really enjoy it. But a weird comparison, it sort of reminds me of like a kind of like a Paul Kelly road trip sort of song, but just with a female vocalist in a horn section. Like, I don't know, it just seems like something you'd listen to going on a long drive, like a positive sort of road trip song.
They all have that kind of quality. Really. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, that one feels more like, for lack of a better term, localized. Like there's a place in mind. Like you can envision the where. But there is something drivable about just this band, just in general, I feel.
Yeah.
All right. So that one gets a 2. Jamie, where you want to go?
I think I'll go back to Manual Override. We haven't touched on it in a while, and I'm going to go to Finger Painting.
No.
That 2 no's.
Oh, yes. No to the... Yes to the... Yeah, I'm choosing the song. No to the 2 no's.
Yeah. I thought, like, I knew that was a track that you thought highly of, so I was like, it's odd that it only got me, if that was the
How do you know
case.
that? I've never told you that.
I'm pretty sure you have. You might
Nah.
have been cooked and out of it, but I'm sure you
Nah.
told me.
No, I've never told you about that one.
The
I
trickery.
love this one because it's lyrically very fun to listen to.
Yeah, that's just another one where I wish I had a reason to tell you why I didn't have it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play that into my next choice from Nosedive. Give me a reason.
Sorry, mate.
I do have that one though.
Hey, there we go. We'll take that too. Better than getting binned, and we're like out of NTP now too. So, boom, boom, boom. All right, Josh.
Let me go for a song called "You Don't Have to Wait."
Yeah, I got it.
Again. No.
Hold on, just wait a second. I've got to have a look to see if it's in my list.
You shouldn't have to
sounds so
wait.
familiar, but I don't think it's in my list.
All right.
Well, look, it's not anything different for Saskwatch because they've just gotten so good at writing this type of song, but, definitely in a 20.
Yeah. All right.
So was that a 2?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jamie.
Let's go with 100 Years.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't make that unanimous, but it gets
That's
2.
all right.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about that song, and I don't know if Josh is similar, but I love the part at the end where they go skits. Like it's like all slow, and at the very end it just goes skits with a bunch of different sounds not coming in.
Well, this is like one of the only like Sasquatch songs that I feel like I don't know, it's kind of unsettling, especially the start when it's just her vocals and the synth. I don't know if it's like
Yeah,
really discordant or anything like that, but it just I don't know, it feels a bit eerie.
for sure.
Let me try a Sorry I Let It Come Between Us song. How about I'll Be Fine?
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
man, we are like dancing right around that number 5.
Jamie, you need to go talk to someone then.
If you won't be fine, sir.
I'll be fine.
Look,
No.
we're going to get 5, and then it's going to land on Josh again.
Yeah.
As I elude myself again from that hitting the
final say.
the number.
Yeah.
The final say, yeah.
What's cool about that song is like kind of like unlike anything they'd done to that point, you know, in terms of more of the focus being on like sort of the crunchy guitar sounds. Like, and that's a sort of welcome addition that I found in the last 2 albums, that they did have songs where, you know, there's some cool guitar textures that weren't like clean or anything. That just sort of actually pushed forward the song.
All right. I'll Be Fine gets a 2. Josh, where you want to go?
Well, another one that's kind of from that album called In Your Arms.
Yes.
Sounds familiar, but it's not on my list.
Oh. Wow. Another 2.
No.
Man, these cuts are going to be brutal. We got a lot. All right. Jamie?
I'm gonna go to their 3rd album, Time to Let You Go.
No.
No.
Got a lot of pun-worthy songs.
All right. It is not Time to Let You Go. Could be, but it isn't. Time to Let You Go into the bin.
Oh, brutal.
A little rude of me. I'm sorry.
We need more of that, especially if it's not at my expense.
Let's see. I'll go back to the first record. How about Two Hearts?
Yes.
Nah. But that is a good song.
All right, another
It
2.
is.
This is gonna be something, fellas. All right, Josh.
Two Hearts probably the only song, like I only had 2 for the first record, spoiler alert. But that was probably the one outside of my 2 that I enjoyed. Okay, well, I think like I was waffling on about the different sort of grittier sound before, but a song I think is kind of like a great mix off their last albums called Gemini.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah, there's just a greater focus on the drums are always interesting, but I feel like there's more of a focus on the drums. They're really funky. The guitar rhythms kind of, again, at the risk of repeating myself, sort of grittier sound and a sort of crunchy rhythm. But then it's got this like really cool piano that sounds like it's being played in the next room that sort of repeats, which by itself it would sound like an annoying alarm for a phone. But in the song, it's like a really interesting sort of like repeating motif in the background that like is catchy.
100%. And I think what I love also about this track is how it transitions from the previous track, Finger Painting. I love a good album mix, and this is a good album mix song.
Just like that. Your worst nightmare has come true at this point. Josh is sitting on that 5 nicely. I think I'm down to like 4. So where you want to go, Jamie?
I'm gonna stay on manual override and go with North Terrace.
No.
Yeah.
Man. North Terrace gets a 2. Come on.
You're lucky there, Jamo.
Was that 20?
But no, that's a nice song. It's kind of like low key and subtle, and I find it interesting in those sort of tracks when like obviously every instrument is in its right place. Like I like the little spidery sort of guitar lines that are in the song. The sort of harmonies are subtle as well. It's a cool low laid back sort of track. I can see why Justin didn't have it, because it's not something that stands up and punches you in the face. But it's a good album track.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. 1, 2, yeah. All right, I think maybe we do one more round and then dump out. Let's see where we're at after that. I already did that one. How about off of Nosedive? Is it true?
Oh, it's not.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's very untrue. Okay, all right. Boom. Into the bin I go. Josh?
The song titles that just lend themselves to rude responses. Like
Really
nothing
do.
personal. It's just can't help but say.
Yeah, I mean, it is a question, so.
Well, this next song, for the title alone, I won't be sad if it's out just because of the pun opportunity. But Left Me to Die.
Well, looks like
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
Yeah, sorry. I think that's what's happening. Is you're being left. So sorry, man. Can't get you to the hospital. All right. In the bin you go. Jamie.
Well, I'm also going to continue with choosing a song based on, or not only based on the title, but because I actually like it. Bite My Tongue.
No.
Yeah.
Hey. Take that too.
What Jamie's doing right now. He's had a gutful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well.
That's another song with that sort of like bouncing supreme kind of like, I don't know if it's like a Rhodes piano, but that sort of electric piano sound in it. But like what I sort of thought was the cool part of this track is it's got this like sort of busy bass line, but kind of doing its own lead thing without necessarily being like, hey man, I'm Paul McCartney. You got to listen to what I'm playing, you prick. Like it's sort of playing interesting parts in the background, but like it's not in your face.
Yeah, I love how the horns go with the chorus, where every single time, she says, bite my tongue, and then the horns go at every single word. I don't know. I'm a sucker for the simple things, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
Be cool if you could just walk around and then like a horn section would just repeat the melody of whatever sentence you're saying to people. Like I feel like it would give it a real sort of sense of power in whatever you're saying, but also be so annoying after 10 minutes that you'd probably commit assault on the horn section.
Like, get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm gonna dump out. I know for a fact already that Josh doesn't have these first two, but I'll see if I can land with Jamie on one of them. How about Leave It All Behind?
I don't have that one.
All right. Smooth Sailing?
That was in my long list, but not my short list.
Oh. All right. Moving to Nosedive. How about Now That We're Alone?
No.
Oy.
You are alone on that one.
Very alone. Feeling very, very alone. All right. Moving to the next one. How about Your Drug?
No.
No, but I do like that song.
I think I overthought the room a little. And then last but not least, Shrinking Violet.
I've got that.
I'm sorry. I do love the energy, but because I had like 400,000 manual override songs, that was one I sort of just let slip off there.
There we go. All right, so Jamie called it.
Josh has the final say
Josh
again.
is gonna have the
There you
final
go.
say again. So hold on, let me shift this up, and we will get Josh's dump out tracks and see if we can make this. I mean, this already thick and difficult conversation more thick and more difficult. All right, what do you got, Josh?
Call Your Name,
No.
Blind,
No.
and Fortress.
No, but all great tracks.
And just for fun, Jamie?
My finals were Heaven Seems So Far Away, Renaissance Man, and Kids.
Yeah. Kids is very good. I was listening to that.
Sorry, now,
Yeah.
now I'm just trying to picture them, playing the MGMT
Yeah.
song. With the horn section, actually, that's not the most unlikely thing.
Yeah.
But it would seem weird at the same time.
All right. Let me run this down and see what we got here. In our unanimous already 5, it was already mentioned Josh is going to win again. We all really agree on Manual Override. We've got Don't Want to Try, December Nights, Renoir, Then There's You, and Gemini already through. We've got a long list of 2s. I'm going to run these down. 15 that we need to get down to 4 before Josh's final say. So, let's see. We've got Your Love, Spinning Image, Born to Break Your Heart, Everyone's Giving Up, Down the Stairs, Finger Painting, Give Me a Reason, You Don't Have to Wait, 100 Years, I'll Be Fine, In Your Arms, Two Hearts, North Terrace, Bite My Tongue, and Shrinking Violet. As I read those down, Josh, is there one that you're like, man, I can't believe we didn't get that one?
Maybe not can't believe, but I feel like, this song needs to be in the playlist. And that's Down the Stairs.
All right. What do you think, Jamie? You were the holdout there.
Down the Stairs was my 22.
Okay.
So it's in my top. It's just not in my top 20. So, I wouldn't say that I'm surprised it's not in there for that reason.
Are you... All right, I want to be clear. Are you saying that you're okay with it going through, or are you giving reasoning for it not to go through?
Out of all the songs that I didn't pick, this is the closest to being picked, so...
Okay, so you're okay with it. All right, I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear.
I don't know what my reasoning was, to be honest. I think because I was like, it's not... I was the one who was left out there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
All right.
Don't mind me.
Well, I'm gonna mind you because now I have to ask you: is there one that you're kind of looking at, like you feel like we gotta have?
Spitting Image.
Okay.
100%.
I was the odd man out there, so let's go ahead and put that through. That gets us up to 7. All right, now let's have the discussion because there's a lot of manual overdrive here. Are we at a point where it's just take best available? Or are we trying our best to do album representation with what's left?
I don't think it would hurt for people to listen to Manual Override the most.
Also, it's easy to argue about. We should have some representation as well because why not? Have we got anything from Nosedive?
Nothing from Nosedive yet. So let's see. What's Born to Break Your Heart? Give Me a Reason. You Don't Have to...
But we've got to have Born to Break Your Heart, I feel like, because that's my number 3. It feels like it should go through.
Well, I was the odd man out there if you feel that strongly about it.
I know, Joshua, would you agree?
Why not?
Well, there you go. Boom. That brings us up to 8. And so we'll leave Josh out on this one because he's going to have the final say anyway. Do we need another from Nosedive just to kind of even things out? Because shoot.
We got one from Nosedive. My next Nosedive track was A Love Divine,
Okay.
on my list.
And we only have one from
that's
first record as well. Right now.
From the first record, the highest I had was Two Hearts.
Okay. So I guess the question would be, which do you think takes priority? First record or Nosedive?
first record is like they're, like you said, starting out indie band, kind of not haven't really got that sound that they developed later on yet. No Nosedive is where it really starts to come together and then builds on from there. Um, so if we put maybe something that more closely aligns to what they do later on with Nosedive compared to their first album, because their first album, like you said, kind of you listen to it and you thought that was their sound, and then you listened on and it was like, oh, that's kind of just the foundation.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Yeah,
I think
totally.
if we have more from Nosedive or even Sorry I Let It Come Between Us, that really will give people a better expectation of what their sound at least develops to manual override compared to the base that the foundation that they set themselves.
All right, so then we have 2 from Sorry I Let It Come Between Us currently, and only 1 from Nosedive. So the next question is, do we even that out?
We may talk. So what we've got 4 or 5 from Manual Override, right?
We've got 4 from Manual Overdrive currently. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if we put in another Nosedive one, I mean, I love the track. I love Divine. A lot of people who listen to them like that song as well. I think you were the odd one out
Love
for
Divine
that one.
was a 1.
Was it 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
You're right.
I'm sorry. I'm just going down my list, and I didn't even realize there was a red. I wasn't looking at my marked notes. So
You should look to vote now for a lack of concentration.
The ones that are alive are Give Me a Reason, and You Don't Have to Wait. And I
Give
mean,
Me a Reason was my next
Okay.
one that had 2 then that went through. Sorry.
All right, so let's
My
do that.
bad.
No worries.
I guess people will find I Love Divine once they listen to the popular tracks anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
All right, let's do that. And then that brings us to, if I'm correct, let me make sure my math is right. Yes, 9. That brings us to Josh's final say.
Sort of tough because all the ones that are pretty much wanted in are there. Or the ones that are still 2s.
Well, you know, this is what the rules are. There are no rules. I prefer it to be one that's alive, but this is a great place to not do that because you got everything else in. So if there's one,
I feel like I'll do what Jamo tried to do. There is a song off, again, it's off Manual Override, but the song Fortress, I know you guys didn't have it, but for me, it's like a real sort of affecting song. Like, there's a really moving sort of orchestral score here, and it's like, for me, it's kind of a point of difference I think would add nicely to the other Manual Override songs, and, you know, none of you guys had it, so I'm not particularly interested in what you have to say about it. Just chuck it in.
there you go.
I do like that. Like, in the context of the album, it is a good, like, slow down before we get the Shrinking Violet. I don't dislike the song. It's like everything of Manual Override I like. I just didn't listen to it and go, yes, this stands out. So, like, if I was choosing songs that I think could be a potential single or something, this obviously wouldn't be one of them because it's not defining their sound necessarily. But in context of the album and in context of how much I like it, I don't disagree with adding that in.
Yeah.
If we had to add in a single.
Well, I feel like, you know, we're adding all these songs into this melting pot, you know, for this playlist. And I feel like it's like a different flavor here that's not necessarily represented. So yeah, that's why that stood out, and yeah, that's why I'm sort of being a dick.
No, not really. I appreciate the explanation, but the rule is you don't even have to have one. Like that's what this is for. So you can take, as long as it's a Saskwatch song. That's all. That's the only rule. So
Yeah, right. I don't want to try. I was born to break your hearts.
There you go.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue.
There you go. See, then there's me. So I'm going to run this down. Don't Want to Try, December Nights, Renoir. Then there's You, Gemini, Down the Stairs, Spitting Image, Born to Break Your Heart, Give Me a Reason, and Fortress rounds out our 10. Now, Josh, of those 10, which one's the one?
With the Walmart app, you can squeeze in those final days of summer and nail that back-to-school shopping list. So keep working on that tan and let Walmart Express Delivery handle the rest. Chromebooks, Clorox wipes, Sharpies, glue sticks, pens, pencils, and more. All delivered in as fast as an hour. So pour yourself another iced tea. Summer's not over. Last minute back-to-school supplies delivered fast. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new. Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
I think it should either be Then There's You or Renoir. But honestly, you could pick any of our unanimous from that album, and I feel like the listener would be getting a good experience. But yeah, those are my two preferences.
What do you think, Jamie?
I would say that December Nights, I think, should be the top. Like, I think my reasoning for this, and this is going off a person who's listening to it on Spotify. December Nights, like, I know it's in their top 10 most popular, but it's not in their top 5 most popular. So Then There's You is. December Nights isn't necessarily. So I think that's pretty much their best song, almost. I would love to have it as the defining song for the programmed list.
The fact that it's almost the best song, in your words, and not the best song means surely Then There's You.
No, Then There's You is not there. It would be Spitting Image, which I think is their best song. So it's their best song that was unanimous from us.
I think a good point that Justin, or an interesting point I didn't think about before, was saying like this song had crossover like appeal. Like this song like could have broken the band if they probably weren't Australian in the States. And that was an interesting perspective that I didn't think of. But that's why sort of I'd rather that one, even though I like both songs, because it's a fantastic album.
I definitely think it's got to be one of the Manual Override songs, though. Like, I think that's where I'm in full agreement with you all. I mean, obviously, the four that were unanimous, I'm on board with.
We just have 4 songs.
I don't know. I'm like listening to clips. You guys, they aren't coming through to you guys. See, here's where I'm torn. I'm torn between December Nights and Then There's You. I feel like December Nights is more unique, whereas I think Then There's You has the more like cross appeal. I don't know. This is so bad. I listen to the
it's
clips.
your choice,
and it
mate.
Helps. Yeah. The clips never help.
We've put you in that position that you hate.
That I hate. I absolutely despise this making a decision. I trust my listeners to like actually listen to the songs we put out there. But then I'm thinking of like when it gets to like the end of the year conversation, unfortunately, these bands always get overlooked by that panel. Always. So, like, which one finds those guys? I feel like it's more likely...
Give them credit, man. I'll give them credit. Like, they had that Phoenix Foundation Bright Grey last year, and I was quite happy to hear that.
Yeah. Does that change your answer, though? Like, if I put that information out there, does that change an answer for either you?
Well, you're catering to your audience, and you know those guys better than us. And look, if there's a chance that one song will likely get their attention over the other, then definitely go for that. They're both good songs.
Yep, which is an easy way of us saying we're not going to make the decision. It's up to you, Justin.
I feel like technically December Nights does it, but there's something bigger about Then There's You that has that appeal. I think that you know, we mentioned it a couple times now, like that crossover appeal that maybe could have broken them here. So I think I'm gonna go with Then There's You. I think, yeah, we're gonna do that because I don't want to keep thinking about this. I think technically December Nights probably does it better, but I'm just going to keep talking myself in circles if I keep talking. I made a decision. We're going with Then There's You. Let me get that going underneath, and I'll run down this list one last go. Then There's You. Let me switch over. Then There's You is our number one. Don't Want to Try. December Nights, Renoir, Gemini, Down the Stairs, Spitting Image, Born to Break Your Heart, Give Me a Reason, and Fortress rounds out our 10. Let's let Then There's You get a moment in the sun. There we go. We have done it. We have turned you on to likely a band you've never heard of. I feel like we did some heavy lifting here for you. And if you have heard of them, then how did we do on our list? Let me know. You can just comment right here on Spotify if that's where you're listening. I'm guessing. I have no idea where you're listening. But if that's where you're listening, you can leave a comment and we can have like a little brief back and forth on Spotify now. So that would be cool. Same thing goes for Apple Podcasts minus the conversation part. 5-star review would be super helpful and does help us get seen in the algorithm. Also, if you're going to leave a comment on Spotify, please consider giving us a 5-star rating. As I mentioned, it does help us in the long scheme of things. If you'd like to help us monetarily, that would be cool. Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin. $1 gets you in the door. It gets you the conversation that we're about to have after the fact. It gets you deprogrammed before the rest of the world, and various other things, including but not limited to access to our Discord server where we do these shows. And if you kick up to the $5 level, there's like some other like channels, like secret quote unquote channels that you'll get access to, which include the occasional, ever so occasional #WrestlePals events. And when I say occasional, I mean rather rare, but they happen occasionally. So that would be cool. If you would like to join the Discord server but don't want to pay to get into it, dude, I get that, man. Just ask me for the link. I'll get it to you. Come hang out. We're growing a tree in there. We are counting, and we are we have got Music League, and then we also have a Finding Panelist channel where you can jump in and say, hey, I'd like to talk about this band, and we will find somebody else who would like to talk about that band with you. It happens all the time. So hop into the Finding Panelist channel, and we'll get that going. Man, we're a podcast, which means wherever you're listening to this, subscribe, please. Rate, please. Comment, please. Share, please. All those are super helpful. But the absolute best way you can help me is by telling somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you should too. And with that, Saskwatch, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Listen. That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. The sound of captivating electric performance, dynamic drive, and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance, redefined. The fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron.